went to games like Chelsea games and Liverpool games and stuff, and I just didn't see like any one female photographers and then two black female photographers. And in my mind, I was like, oh, like that's just so weird. So I went to another game, and I was like super observant, just looking around the pitch side, and I was like, I said to myself, I'm going to be there like next year or like whenever it's going to happen. I want to shoot pitch side of like Chelsea games, of like women's games, even like Premier League games, pretty much. I don't think it's more important than the relationship that you build with your potential customers. That's why it's like the two things that are like, they're both important, but I think the network just edges above it.
I was saying that I believe football has helped racism. Right? I'm not saying it's stopped it.
I don't think football's helped racism in this country. No.
If you've got hate in your heart,
it's not the same
for another person of another culture, then it is the same.
But it's not the same.
Alright, cool.
It's literally not the same. Like it's literally not the same.
That's fine.
Welcome to the Mind Your Business podcast. My name's Jav,
Michael,
and today we've got a very, very special guest. I saw one of her videos and I was like, that's interesting. I think I even left a comment. You know, someone who's breaking barriers, and I just felt compelled to invite her down to the podcast today, Miss Sade. Barry Sade.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Sade.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming down. So, yeah, man. Firstly, how are you?
I'm good. It's very hot in the UK at the moment. So wherever you're listening to this, it's hot. We hope it stays that way. Not complaining, but it's nice. Loving the weather.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Firstly, thank you for coming down. Yeah, I saw one of your videos. We're gonna insert it right here, and yeah, I just felt like it would be good to have a conversation. I'm always someone that likes to talk to people who are old. Yeah. So as we always like to do traditionally, we always like to start the podcast with what's on your mind. So, what's on your mind?
Something that I saw that was very interesting on social media is about, you know how like the Prime Minister's not Prime Minister anymore.
About to change,
And I think I saw like this post and they were talking about how like the UK is such like a failed country. Like
kind of deep straight away, boy.
Millions of pounds. No, that's literally the thing that's been on my mind. And then it's kind of like, should I like stay in the UK? Like thinking like future wise. Is this a country that I want to kind of live in, or can I move to like Portugal? Because I was in Portugal the other day and I absolutely loved it. I'm even going back like for my birthday this year. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like to make a move type of thing. But that's kind of like what I've been thinking about so far.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, bro?
What's been on my mind lately? Probably similar though, to be honest, you know. Similar, yeah, just future planning in terms of where I would move. But it's with me, it's more of like I've known I ain't gonna stay here for a long time anyway. And me and Jav was just talking about it, that 22% tax on the ISAs now.
Oh my goodness.
Sped me up to say let me get the paperwork fully ready and so on and so forth. So yeah, just think about the same thing, similar, like places to travel, business, and then also like where to park.
Yeah.
Are you, bro?
Cool.
I ain't really been thinking about much lately, you know. I ain't been thinking. I just been living, man. I just been going through the motions a little bit, just getting through each day. Obviously, I'm in the process of like moving, so that's obviously taken up quite a bit of time. So it's more just kind of thinking about moving. So that's been it, really. Not too much. So for those of you that don't know, you're a photographer, right?
Yes.
Specific. Do you just do sports photography, or do you do other things outside of that?
No, I do quite a few things, but like sports photography is what like I'm branded as on social media.
Right.
And it's
cool.
what I really enjoy doing currently. So.
Yeah. So before we kind of get into like the videos that have been going viral and that kind of stuff, I do want to know a little bit more about you and kind of your background. You know, how you got into photography. So yeah, like where'd you grow up, and let's start with that really.
Yeah, so I have 4 brothers.
Oh wow.
And I'm like right in the middle. Well, I count my half brothers as as 4 brothers. So I'm right in the middle. My oldest brother owns like a boxing gym. So he's into sport. He used to box when he was younger, and he's just like a all around sports person. My second to oldest brother, he does like music, so he's like in the creative industry type of thing. And then I've always pretty much been into sports. So when we was growing up, my mum put us into like fencing, into football, into basketball, into like a bunch of different sports pretty much. I think the one thing that I probably carried on like for a number of years is running. I recently did the London Marathon like a month ago, 2 months ago. I still have a bruised toe, but like it was really good experience. Then my younger two brothers, they do like rugby and like just a bunch of different sports. So my parents as well, they met through roller skating. So I feel like that's very like a physical activity type of thing. They're not together now, but they were just always like involved in some sort of like physical activity. My dad's quite built as well. My mum's like super tall, so I'm like super tall. So I feel like it's been like embedded in me, sports in general, since I was younger. In terms of like academics as well, just was never really great at school. Like if you give me like, I don't know, comprehension from like English, like I just wouldn't do it. The teachers know I wouldn't do it. I'm just gonna mess around. We just kind of like knew the deal pretty much. So that's why I wouldn't say I was separated like in the classroom, but I definitely was more practical than like learning and I guess that's how I learned. Like I would always need to kind of do something to be able to learn. So yeah, in PE, top of the class, and yeah, that's like pretty much like my childhood growing up. When I got into, I'd say college, I kind of decided, so at this point I had like no idea what I wanted to do. So sports wasn't really like on my mind in terms of a career. And I think most young people at that age, like you don't really know what you want to do. You know what you like, but in terms of like a career in the future, you're not really thinking of it. So I'd say at 16, what happened? I was with, so I was deciding what course I was going to do going into college. And my mum was like, oh, like you like children, like you're good at looking after kids pretty much. I was like, okay, cool. So I might as well do like health and social care or whatnot. So then there was a bit of a squabble between like my mum and dad and seeing what I should do. So my dad was more like going to business, going to like economics and these things. And my
you said your dad's like, Nigerian, isn't it? Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, he's like thinking ahead and sometimes even thinking for me, as your parents would do. And then my mum was more like, no, like do what you're good at, which is looking after kids, and then you can expand pretty much like your career or whatnot. So I ended up choosing what my dad wanted me to do, which is business. So my first year in college, or sixth form, I did, I think, business, sociology and psychology. And then I flopped it. Like, I think I got an E, I got a D, and I got like an F, like flopped it completely. I'd say I really did not like those courses that I did. So then I switched, and then I did health and social care. So it's what my mum kind of was saying to do. Did the 2 years, loved it, completed it, and then I guess it was time for uni. When I got into uni now, I had to decide what I was going to do, and I think inevitably it felt like social work was like what I was meant to do, based on like what my mum was kind of talking to me about and her dream, because she works in like social care. And then picked social work, did it for the first year, hated it, and then what was it, summer 2019, it was a really like important summer for me, because it was like, okay, I don't like the course that I'm doing, and then I don't really know what to do next, and then I also want to finish uni, but I don't want to do the course that I'm doing, and I felt really kind of lost. And I had a discussion with my mum, I remember, and I was like, I don't like this course, and I just want to change it, I want to switch. And then she was like, what are you actually going to do? And that question of like, what are you going to do, really helped, because it was like, okay, I could see the things that I like, could see the things that I don't like, so where can I like create a pretty much career pathway in it. Went on Eventbrite. I saw, by the way, I'm just like touching on like all of these bits and bobs in the story. It's just summer 2019. And then I went on Eventbrite, went to a workshop, and it was helping young females getting like involved in advertising or just media in general. Then I made an impression on the person who was like organising it, and then she took me in to meet her boss, who was working at a advertising agency at the time, and I met her boss, and I was like, look, like I like editing. I do a bit of editing, like the youth group, the church that I go to. Like it's not much, but like there's an interest here, and I love watching films. And then he was like, yeah, come do like an internship for a month, which was like paid. And I was like, crazy.
1 year.
In a really big advertising agency. So did that. Loved it. Like I edited some videos for Adidas. I think I did like a music video at one, but they just got me to do like a bunch of different things.
Right.
Really, really good experience. Then that finished, and I was like, okay, I could see myself working here and like continuing on, or I could go back to uni and then like just finish what I started, get the degree, and then go from there. So I did that. I went to uni, changed my course to film, studied film at the University of East London. And I loved it, but then COVID hit, and then lockdown hit, and then that was like, oh, what is going on, God, like, please. So during the time, is that
because you felt that industry had been troubled? Is that why you said that?
Sorry.
So you said that when COVID hit, you was like, oh, like,
yeah.
Is that because it messed with that industry, particularly the film industry, or you had to stop uni, like? What was the issue?
No, I think it was because there was just a lot of like indecision that I was going through, and like I just started something that I really liked, and then for that to hit, I was like, oh, like what is going on, type of thing. And also, the world of like film and advertising, it did kind of change at that time, because you wasn't able to go out and shoot or go on production sets or like even network and do the whole social side of things as well. I remember there was even a film on Netflix called, I think, The Call or whatever, and they made it during that time, but it was the way how the production was, like nobody really interacted with each other physically. It was more through a phone call. The way how the film was shot, it was like they had a camera in one room, the actor would be acting, and then in another location the actor would be acting, type of thing. It's a really good film. But yeah, going back to the story, COVID hit, did what I could at home when we was doing like the whole social distancing thing. But in that time, the equipment store was actually open. So there was like a ton of cameras that I could use, loads of equipment that I could pretty much have access to. And I did, like I just was proactive pretty much and went to the store, shot like random things. Obviously I couldn't really shoot people because of the whole restrictions and stuff. But it really just showed me like the perseverance that I kind of had, or persistence that I kind of had to learn and just like not stop, because the whole world is like stopping pretty much. Fast forward in a little bit, graduated uni in 2022, and I actually bagged my graduate job like before I left uni, which was like something that's really surprises pretty much the teachers and like whoever was kind of listening to my story as well. Thanks to God, of course. But I think when I got that job, it just, again, I was in like the corporate world. It was a really big advertising agency. It showed me a lot of things. I was exposed to like different people, different titles, different like roles and responsibilities within that agency, which is super, super helpful. And yeah, I think that's like where we kind of ended up. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah, so
should I keep going?
No, but like you mentioned about being into sports, yeah?
Yeah.
So was there a point where like you was dedicated to a particular sport, or was it just you was playing everything?
So we started off like playing everything, and then I think it was basketball where it was like, that's like super cool. I think I ended up going to a club, but that only lasted maybe like 2 to 3 years, pretty much. And because I was tall, I was pretty, well, some people would say I'm pretty good at it. Yeah, that kind of stuck. And my cousins also play basketball, not professionally, but like they love. So yeah, so now that I think about it, I actually come from a really like sporty family and vibe, and I think that's just always pretty much stuck.
Yeah. Okay. So what was like the entry into photography? Like what got you into it? What kind of sparked that interest?
Yeah. So again, like being so involved in sport physically, you just never would think that you could like work in sport, and it was never really like a possibility in my head. So I knew that I really like sport, and I think the people that I would network with, and I'm a super big advocate of like just going to events and meeting people and just always talking to people pretty much. And I think it was an organization that a friend of mine, she kind of introduced me to the owners of it, and it's called the Powerhouse Project, and they're two twins, they're Rosie and Molly, and they're like, they used to play football, but they're building pretty much a big community or network on programs to help football coaches who are women, get more involved and pretty much develop their licenses and such. And that really kind of spoke to me. So I got the chance to meet them, speak to them, and I was like, look, like I do a lot of content at the time or videoing and taking pictures and such. And they just kind of just brought me on, and I was able to like go to their events that they were going to. So I was in and around like football at this point. And they had a program called the Google Pixel FC, and I was on that.
I saw your content around that. You was going to like Liverpool and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So that was like amazing exposure, to the point where I was like, okay, like we're going to actual physical games now. Like I'd say like I've only started really supporting Chelsea maybe like a year and a half now, but yeah, that's my team.
Hold on, what do you mean?
We don't need to talk about that.
You picked them in your adolescence, basically. You picked your football team in your adolescence, like, as you was older.
Yeah,
2 months ago.
Yeah, literally, pretty much.
Okay, no judgment.
Pretty much. So yeah, again, just being in and around that, and they have like links to all of these pretty much huge clubs. So being on that program again exposed me to a lot, not just like the physical side of like football and such, but more so like the broadcasting and the production side of it. Again, building my network and just having people in my phone that I can contact and talk to at any point. So when I started going to games, it was like, I know that I like photography, and at this point, I was also running a business with a friend, and we were doing we had clients who were like football coaches, so I'd go out to like shoot pretty much content for them, whatever they needed, and we was like growing that alongside of me being on that program too. So this is like 2024 into 2025. And yeah, so went to games, like Chelsea games and Liverpool games and such, and I just didn't see like any, one, female photographers, and then two, black female photographers. And in my mind, I was like, oh, like that's just so weird. So I went to another game, and I was like super observant, just looking around the pitch side, and I was like, this is making me a little bit uncomfortable. So I told my friend like, oh, there's no photographers that kind of look like us or like me. And they were like, they didn't really know what to say. It was just an observation of mine. And I'm pretty sure like many other people have had that thought. But I think what was probably different about me was that I said to myself, I'm going to be there like next year or like whenever it's going to happen. I want to shoot pitchside of like Chelsea games, of like women's games, even like Premier League games pretty much. And that's like, I think what was probably the starting point of like that observation, and then it kind of things kind of like happening or again me networking with other people to then like show pretty much where I am today, I'd say.
So when you started, do you have any like apprehensions about like making content about that? Because obviously in one of your videos you kind of pointed out that there's no black people here, let alone black women.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, oh, if I actually point this out, people might not want to give me accreditation and stuff like that? Was you ever worried about that?
Yeah. But then, like, the way how I understood how, like, you even get an accreditation, you have to put in, like, an application, but you also have to post, like, a picture of yourself, because then they print it out on the accreditation so they know and they see who you are. So I was like, oh, this might be a bit controversial, or it could work like the opposite way, where it's like, okay, this person is talking about something that we already know that's going on, we can see it. Yeah, so you'd have to like post your picture so they can physically like see you and know who you are. And it was a bit of a worry at first, because I think at that point it was like, I'm super new, I'm super fresh. And I know that there's always some sort of judgment or stigma based on, you know, like how black women are, and then coming into a space where we're not really there yet. I was a bit worried, but then like, just because I think I'm quite easygoing. Like I don't really care like that much, and like the people that I'm reaching out to, they're not necessarily like my friends or my family. These are like, I want to be able to reach these people who have some sort of power, or like someone who knows someone who can maybe make that change and see like the message, rather than me kind of saying there's no black people here, or like we need to get more. Like I think my message is not that. It's more like, let's think about representation as a whole, and if there is something that we can do about this to make a difference, and let's like start. And again, like making this the pieces of content that I make, it doesn't scare me as much as it did at the start. But then I just have to like press post, and then it was just like, okay, it's what it is. Like it's out. I'm not gonna take it down now. And like how it kind of spreaded to people, and like again the likes of BBC and such, showed me like this is probably something that I should keep doing, and should keep talking about. So yeah.
So like, since making the content, and obviously you're continuing to make content, how has that changed things for you, or how has that maybe opened opportunities for you?
Yeah, so when I first did the Chelsea game, it was under how I got the accreditation was under the organisation called Beacons, where they help pretty much underrepresented people from like pretty much all over England getting more involved in sports media. So I've been on that program for a year now, and I just wait on like the perfect opportunity. I know some people shouldn't really do that, but like I didn't really want to do some of the things that they had offered. But I was waiting specifically for the sports photography because that's what I was most interested in, and wanted to pretty much make a change in. So I waited, and that first opportunity came, like Chelsea versus Liverpool women's at King's Meadow at the time. Who wants the pass, pretty much. And I was like, yes, this is me, this is all me. And then I applied and I got through, and then I was like shooting the game. And like I think when I first came on the pitch side, I looked at the stand and I looked at the pitch, then I looked at like the camera, then I looked at all the photographers that were around, and I'm like, this is so crazy, because I literally said this is going to happen. Thank God again. So again, made that piece of content, and then a media agency reached out to me. They saw the content that I posted. They were like, they even saw some of the pictures that I was actually doing, because I don't want to just like post the content and not show like the work that I'm doing. So I was posting the pictures too, and he was like, yeah, we've got a paid job to shoot like a tournament between like, I think it was like under 15 girls, Chelsea, like it was pretty much a huge tournament with like all of these big clubs. Like I think Chelsea was there, MK Dons?
MK Dons, okay.
MK Dons was there. Some international teams as well that was there. And it's not like anything huge or like that would be like broadcasters or anything, but that was paid. And I was like, whoa. So like the media accreditation and me doing it through Beacons, that's just like a pass, and I didn't get paid for that or whatnot. But I knew that something was definitely going to come out of it, which it did. And now I work with that agency quite closely, and I've had more paid jobs that's come from there. Again, like people, football coaches that have reached out as well. They've asked me to do lots of bits for them as well, which wasn't as regular as it is now.
Okay. And that's all just through you been posting and telling your story on socials?
No, literally, like I in my head, like getting like loads of views and followers, like if it doesn't like convert or like translate into like actual work, for me it doesn't really mean much. But because it is, and like again the likes of BBC reached out, great opportunity to get my story out and stuff, which super grateful for. It just goes to show like I should be putting more content out, and that's how I've got opportunities like that and paid opportunities, and just there's so much I think that's gonna happen. I'm not saying that I'm against like applying for like roles and jobs and stuff like that, which I think everybody should be doing, even though it's really hard to do or to get work now. But I just think if you're not posting content or building like a personal brand, which is what I'm trying to achieve, then it's going to be like really hard. So
when you say the accreditation stuff, just because I missed that part. do you need an accreditation to shoot at a club? Like, what is it? Or how does that work?
So you could either be like a club photographer, for example, just going to say Chelsea. You could be like hired by them to then shoot, and then you get paid like a salary or whatnot.
Okay.
Or if I wanted to shoot at like the next Chelsea game and I'm not working for the club, I'd have to apply for an accreditation, which is just a pass pretty much to shoot the game. Now, some people obviously are from Getty, which is like a huge photo. I think most people have heard of them. And then you get paid through there, and then you can get like commissions and such if you sell your photos and that. That's one way. Another way is like you're from an actual agency or like a news outlet or whatever the case is. Then everybody still needs to apply, like bottom line. But it's like, what's the most important is like where you're coming from. Now, if you're just like a freelancer and then you just apply for it, I think it's a lot harder because like you're not really coming from anywhere that they've noticed. Like Chelsea, they know Getty, they know like certain, they even know BComs, which is like how I got the first one, and that's how you kind of like make your way in. And ideally, everybody wants to be paid to be a photographer. So like, if you pick one of those routes, then that's definitely something that you can earn from.
Okay, and that's for every game you need to get an accreditation?
Yeah. I think there's some passes where you have like a season pass. I don't know how you get that. That one, I'm going to find out somehow, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So when you was like trying to get more work with photography, something that I think a lot of people battle with is doing work for exposure versus getting paid.
Yeah.
Is that ever something that you've had to battle with in terms of, you know, someone who maybe has a bigger audience and can open you up to more people has maybe requested that you come work, but they don't want to pay. They want to give you the exposure as payment. Is that something you come up against?
To be fair, I've heard so many stories about this, but that hasn't really happened to me. I'll be so, and maybe, thank God, again, I think I'm fortunate in this case, but it's like things like that haven't happened just because of, I think, the quality of my work and also like how I just come across. I think there's like people who have like approached me and said, oh, can you this, can you do that? And I've obviously been helpful and like obviously offered some services for like a lower rate and sometimes for free.
Give them mixed rates.
Yeah, that's how you have to kind of like build yourself up. That was more so at the beginning, but again, when I was working with my friend, I'm no longer working with now, we were pretty much like filming our friends and some family, and then we just built clients we built clients through that. And then again, like, because I was the one out on the field actually shooting, he was more doing the admin stuff. I was again meeting people and networking, so it was kind of easy to then them come back to me about, oh, like, what are your rates? Or like, now that I'm split from him, some people have come back and be like, oh, what's your rates? And I've just pretty much told them. So I think doing free work is great. I'm never against it. I think there is like a certain point where you shouldn't do free work. I think some people might disagree, but it's all because like the more that your value pretty much goes up as a photographer or just as like a creative in general, like you should be able to charge for it, and people should respect that.
But something I've seen you mention is about like network over portfolio.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
For you, obviously as a photographer or anyone who works in film, the portfolio is kind of considered to be very, very important. But when you say that, are you saying that like, are you literally saying your network is more important than that portfolio that you have? Like, how do you balance that?
Yeah. It's interesting because I just think if I meet you like first time and I make such a good impression, I could get you to believe that I'm the best photographer ever without even like really showing you much. So I think the first impression, or again, if you're meeting like a potential client or anyone really, the way how you build that relationship, because network is, I think, relationship anyway. The way how you build that, I'm not necessarily coming to you and saying like, I want your money and services. Let's like do it. It's more like we have a relationship. This is what I do. I've told you what I like, the profession that I'm in. It's up to you now. So I've left the ball in your court pretty much. Rather than me coming and saying I've got the best work, or I've shot for Chelsea, or like I've been on the Google Pixel program, or I've done this. even though you have to talk about these things on social media, I don't think it's more important than the relationship that you build with your potential customers. That's why it's like the two things that are like, they're both important, but I think the network just edges above it. For example, like I've seen other photographers who that like, I'm not the best photographer. Oh my gosh, I've seen like pictures, and I've even met the photographers, and their work is like incredible and stunning, but like where it kind of lacks and where they kind of are always kind of seeking and not necessarily attracting people or clients, shall I say, is where the actual like the person themselves, and they're not that impressionable. I think they'll get there. Like there's one specific person I'm thinking of, but yeah, his work is so good, but him as a person, I'm like, oh, like I'm hiring you, or if I was to work with you, I'm more hiring because of like what I see rather than like who you are. When I think a lot of like business people, I think anyway, the ones that I've worked with, they more so like me, and then the work kind of translates into that, and then it makes it more fulfilled, I'd say. So that's like my argument between the two.
Yeah, I mean that's what they say, innit? It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a big argument around that, though. To be honest, a lot of people are like, if you know everybody in the world, but your work is crap, then it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess it's a balance of the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's two things that I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
One is just like honing your craft, because as I say, like your work's got to be at a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do to become like a better? Because it sounds like you saw you wanted to do something.
Yeah.
You got good, and then you started working for all these big places. So what did that good process look like?
Yeah, I think it's I say this a lot actually. I said it on the BBC too. Like the quicker that you can make, I think I got this from Stephen Bartlett as well. Let's give credit where it's due. He says literally like the more that you experiment and the more that you fail, it's like the quicker you can learn from something. And I was like, when I heard it, I was like, it makes so much sense, because if I take loads of bad photos like on one day, like for example like the first time I actually picked up a camera or whatnot to do sports, I knew that a lot of the photos were like out of focus or just absolutely rubbish. But then the next time I went out, it was like, okay, I'm not going to do what I pretty much did in the last one. And that just like, guys, like every single shoot that I go on, I always think about what I did wrong in the last one. And I think that's the mental process that you have to go through to then become better. Something I wouldn't say that recent, but like something that I've had in mind is like, how can I tell a story in the image that I take or the videos that I do? And I look for emotion, and I never really used to like find it or like see it. I just always try to focus on like what's the best shot, what's the best angle type of thing. But now it's more like how can this image or how can this frame or how can this like composition help or make somebody feel something. And I think that's what's like really like made quite a big difference in the photos that I take like now and like when I first started. So
talk to me about that, because like I'm a person that I could say I don't like content in the traditional sense, right? Or what everyone classes that content right now. But it's not because I don't like content, it's because I know content in social media nowadays is seen to be very do what works. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you got to do what works and then it will go viral, so on and so forth. But I'm a fan of that, like you said, that telling a story or it has emotion. Like, I'm quite like a creative as well. Yeah. So when you say you look for the emotion in that, what does that look like in, let's say you're just in a practical scenario, you're at a football match?
Yeah.
How does that look?
I'd say, so let's say we're at a Chelsea game. I've got my camera in hand and there's like, I don't know, like a penalty that's about to be taken. So every single person, even the photographers, you're on edge, because let's say it's like the team Chelsea.
Or the team that
let's
you're
say,
with.
Let's say it's Chelsea that I'm supporting and I really want them to score the goal. I'm feeling the emotion because I'm watching everything that's going on. But if I just like look to the right of me or look to the left of me, maybe there's a fan that's like, I don't know, looking at this. Or maybe there's a player on the actual pitch that's like, I don't know, they've got their hands on their knees, they're bending down, they're like, you can see it. So it's like, if I look for that and then I pretty much turn my camera to that, I know that I'm going to get a good shot, pretty much. So, looking for those emotions. And you have to be, like, super observant as a photographer either way. Like, I think if you're not, then, like, I don't know what you're doing with the camera, really. Okay. But I think that's an important skill that you can build. Like, it's not impossible to, like, do.
Okay, that's interesting. Another question from me is this then. So you've not really come the traditional route as a photographer. A lot of photographers, they'll shoot at weddings, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Family gatherings, build out like that, and then eventually they start shooting all different and so on and so forth. And we've actually got a team that we are partnered with that they do photography as well. So we know a bit about their marketing and so on and so forth. But the biggest thing for me is like pricing, like with photography. I don't want to go too in your pockets and everything like that, right?
It's okay.
But like, what's your sort of view of pricing of photography? Because you know, like you said, someone might be really good, and they're going out to shoot for a couple of £100 and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on pricing as a photographer? If you was talking to a photographer, you want to give them advice. Like, what do you think?
Can I be honest?
Yeah, of course.
I think if you're a photographer, and then you still struggle with prices, like, I think you're so, like, human, and I feel like I still pretty much struggle with pricing. I think it's because you're always in a battle of, like, your value and then like the person's budget. And again, because I value relationships a lot, I'm like, let's say there's let's say it's like someone I didn't know and I don't have a relationship with, and they just want me to do some work. I still look at, like, the person's budget. I still look at, like, my value. I look at what, like, I've done, and look at the thing that I'm about to do, type of thing. So I think if you're asking me like, how do you price, I think you have to price based on, like, your previous shoot, and then you can either feel like you can keep it the same or then you increase it. I think that's, I don't really know how to put it into words, because honestly I still struggle with it. But
when do you get out of the £200 shoot range? That's what I'm saying. Because if you're a 15, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, you're in college, you've got got yourself a camera. That's generally what you're going to be charging, probably, right? You for shoot 100 to 300 max. That's a good day. Is that still calm? Even like you know, because you know we talked about this the other day. Like, we got a podcast studio. Someone wants to come use the podcast. It's a very dead day. You know what I mean? Like. I could charge them a bit less. Do you know what I mean? So as a photographer, you're sitting at home, maybe whatever, somebody's offered you a bit less. Like, do you still go and do that shoot? Or is it like, no way, it's not happening?
Yeah. Oh, this is, it's so hard, guys. I'll be so real. It's so hard. I have to kind of pretty much stick with, this is how I do it anyway.
Like, that's fine.
It's the value that I have, and to be fair, like, some of the shoots that I do get, sometimes they just have, like, a set budget, and then I can decide if I'm going to take it or not. And there's some that I've just, like, it's not worth my time.
So it's not cutting it.
Or I don't really need to do this, or I can just give it to, like, a younger photographer, or, like, someone who I know, and then it's like, it's not wasted, type of thing. I prefer to do that actually than actually say, like,
of course,
I'm not involved, type of thing. I think where you start to increase, it's just how you see yourself, how you value yourself. That's when you can increase and not be ashamed to increase as well. Because it is scary, but at the same time, like, being so confident on the value that you bring and what you can do and what you can pretty much deliver is what's going to, like, set that pricing apart. So yes, you could have the 200 shoots, £200 budget shoots or whatever, but then you could have, like, the £5,000 shoots or whatnot. That's like, now your heart starts to pump, because it's like, okay, this is, like, proper valuable type of thing. Or, like, this person is willing to pay me this amount because they know that I can do the job, type of thing.
Yeah, very interesting.
So yeah, I hope I answered it.
No, you did. You've given different takes on it. I think it's very interesting that as like a one person service business. Is that right? Would you say you're a one person service business right now?
Yeah, so I have people that I can just shout and they can come and shadow me or just work alongside me.
Okay.
And then they get a part of the cut as well.
Okay.
And then I also do a bit of weddings too, so that
Okay.
But yeah, I am pretty much a lone wolf at the moment.
So yeah, I think it's interesting. We was even speaking to a new client recently, the speaker. Yeah. And it's like when you've charged a certain amount before, sometimes you look at the people that come and you change with some, you know what I mean, like with a certain look, like, are you mad? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's tricky, you know. I heard Ross say something like about he'll still take a change if it's like a quiet day, and he'll still take a lesser thing to go on. But not everybody agrees with that, so that's what I guess I'm just trying.
Fair enough. The other day, someone came to me and they're like, I need you to come out to Italy to do just like a YouTube vlog for me or whatever. And then because I used to do free work for her before.
Okay.
And now she's like, she's leveling up, so she's thinking that I'm still on the same level, which I'm obviously not. So then when she was like, she asked me what her prices were, and then I gave her a price.
So she asked the price. That's good.
She was like, okay, I need to negotiate with the people that were sending her out to Italy, pretty much, because I would have been a part of her team. And then like pretty much never got back to me. So in my mind, I was like, I know she's not actually disrespecting me, but it kind of sometimes feels like that because it's like you still think I'm like at that level and that value is still
let me
like
get a good
much. Do you know what I mean? So it's tricky, but like you kind of have to put your emotions aside and be like, you know, like this is what it is. If you can't do it, I know someone who can for that price type of thing, or just just that's it really.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of photographers are undercharge.
Yeah, I can agree.
Just generally, I think they undercharge quite a bit.
Yeah, I think there's some that would like really upsell you.
Okay.
That would then that's why you might think that, but they will upsell you in that's like a bit of strategy there. For example, like an hour shoot might be like, I don't know, £50 or whatever, but then you only get like 2 photos out of it. Then you would have to buy like the rest of them, and then they put that on them. Do you know what I mean? So it's some people are smart and a bit conniving, but it makes sense. And then you, for example, me, I tell you exactly what I would do, type of thing. And then if they want more, then I'll put
cards on the table sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think that having that upsell is actually quite important from a business standpoint.
100%.
To have that, to be able to offer that, is quite powerful. And
I'll be so real, it's so easy to upsell when you have a good relationship with them. It's so like, it's so easy. Because
all you got to do is get them through the door with the initial thing at whatever price, but they're always going to need more, innit?
100%.
And there's also that long term value where.
And then I'm like, for example, if they just wanted photos for like their LinkedIn, let's say they're trying to build a personal brand type of thing. I'm like, already in my mind, I'm like, you don't only need photos, you need content, you need like, I don't know, something else. I know that you need it, and I do videos, I do pictures, but that comes like during the relationship building. And it's like, let me do the work, pay me this amount, and it's done.
And it builds over time. No, that makes sense. Okay, cool, man. So to kind of switch speeds a little bit, we're still in the same thing, but obviously I think recently the WSL, they signed a deal with Sky, right? A 5-year deal with Sky, and they're going to be covering even more games. So things like that, where obviously the women's game in England is growing. How does that, I'm assuming it's a positive thing, but how does that affect the amount of work available for photographers? And does that trickle down? Like, is there a benefit that the photographers actually feel, or is it like, it doesn't really make much of a difference?
I think it's tricky, because I think that budget, I didn't know that actually, but thank you. I think that budget would definitely go into like more so of like the broadcasters and like the big productions,
right?
Like, I don't know, ads and stuff like that. Like I don't know for sure, but that's from like a business point of view and how I understand football and how I understand like the photography side of things. Most likely, however, if they did invest in like, I don't know, programs to build up more photographers. Like this is just more so inspirational type of things that they could do, which I don't think they would do. Then it kind of becomes like you're still pretty much on your own. I don't think it makes a difference to photographers themselves, which is unfortunate. But then I guess you get people like, for example, the Powerhouse projects where they want more like females and they're looking for funding, or they're looking for like I don't know, partners to help them pretty much grow this gap, if I could say, of like female photographers or people that actually, because like if you go to a game and then you're seeing like male photographers at a female game, you still sort of like question it, and you're like, as a photographer, I'm not talking about like a fan or anything like that. It's like it doesn't really like make sense, and I don't. It's hard to not make it about gender, but it's also representation. And again, this is something that I'm always talking about and an advocate for, because if I don't see someone that looks like me or I could relate to working alongside me, there is always going to be like a bit of a wall or like a bit of a guard up type of thing. And we're humans, like we're not robots. Like, I think robots can definitely be like, we'll get the work done, that's it. But as a lot of people are talking about like work-life balance and the importance of like social connection and all these things, like this is all, I don't know, it all kind of ties into this one big ball of like, it's very, very important to have female photographers out on the field. Like regardless of I don't know, stereotypes, or regardless of like how it's always been, which is having male photographers, I think it's super important to have females there. I don't know, I think I kind of forgot your question as I was talking.
No, about the investment and if that would trickle down to the photographers.
I don't think it will, unfortunately.
Okay.
Maybe in the future, if you're asking my honest opinion, like I don't think it will. So
but then so when you go to the WSL games, do you just do Chelsea, or do you go like to other WSL games?
I've done like London City Lions before. I've done Spurs. I've done pretty much.
So when you go there though, is it still majority male photographers?
Yeah.
Even at all the women's games that you go to? Okay.
That's interesting. Did you two hear any Aluko talk about that?
Yeah.
You heard
Well, I heard her talk about the punditry.
So, but it's just, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not the same, but...
I know, well, I don't know any, I know of her, and I've met her before, and I've obviously had discussions with her before about this very topic, and she is like her, everything that kind of happened to her, it kind of, it's so hard, especially with that ITV and it
kind of
knocking off type of thing, and like that was so annoying, and it again, it makes me want to talk about this specific topic even more, because like people don't know the feeling of it and how kind of hurtful it can be when there are really good black female photographers out there. They just don't have the opportunity or the chance, or they don't know the pathway to get in. And again, I know everyone's not like me where they're really seeking like opportunities or like ways to kind of get into the industry, but if I could like share just my general open experience of how the good and the bad, then I know it's going to help someone else below me, or like, you know, at the same level or whatnot. So yeah.
Well, I think a big thing with you is your persistence and patience, because a lot of people would just take the other jobs, but you mentioned that like you just held back a bit because you knew what you wanted, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of like waiting for the perfect moment, which I don't really agree with. Like,
was that hard at the time? Like, you was missing money, I'm guessing. At the time.
Yeah. I mean, those are more so opportunities rather than jobs, but in terms of BComs, but those opportunities still would have been like really good. But it's just, because I know me and what I kind of want and the message that I'm trying to put across, like those opportunities weren't for me. Like the Chelsea one was for me, and all the ones that I've actually gotten has been for me, hence why I think I've had it. So, had the opportunity to shoot. So,
Help us settle a debate, right? So
a debate,
that you'll be good for.
Cool.
So essentially, am I right in saying, so you wasn't a super football fan when you got into the space?
Absolutely not.
You wasn't, because you
name five Chelsea fans.
Okay, cool.
Now I can, but
now you're great. So we were saying that Well, I was saying I think that football helped to improve racism. I don't even know if that's the best way of saying it. Like, just basically,
I know you're gonna ask. Yeah.
Basically, you know, traditionally we're in the West, right? And these countries were racist, very racist, right? And I was saying that football and seeing like your favorite team win because of a black player, for example, or you're a Liverpool fan, like Mo Salah's you saving you guys, right? This is an Egyptian African brother, right? So we were saying that football. I was saying that I believe football has helped racism, right? I'm not saying it stopped it. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist in it, but it's helped to, you know, over generations. It's just improved it, even if it's a percentage, right? You've come in like your smiles. I already feel like I know what you're gonna say, but you've come in from just like fresh eyes, right?
Yeah.
What's your experience? What's some of the bad experiences? What do you think, like in that terms of that atmosphere of racism, of those sort of things, when you go into these football stadiums?
Okay, I'll tell you from like a fan perspective, and then I'll also tell you from like photography perspective.
Perfect. Yeah.
So from the photography perspective, I think, or broadcasting perspective, shall I say, like you see how. Like you see the games on TV, like you're watching the games on TV, and then they go to like the fans. I don't know. This is just again from fresh eyes. Yeah, they don't ever put like black people, like they don't show their reactions unless it's like I don't know, the Unity Cup where there's like full of black people are all around. But like at a normal Chelsea versus like Arsenal game, men's game or whatnot, like I don't ever see like the black fans when I know that there's a ton of them, but like. It seems like whoever's doing the camera operation is like, again, maybe set, maybe
do you think
middle-aged. Again, this is just what I've seen.
Okay. Fair enough. Maybe.
Never thought about that, you know.
I've
never thought about that.
Yeah, no. I'm again being like super observant. I just notice these things. Again, it's not for me to like judge or like.
Yeah, it's just an observation.
Like I'd love to see like, I'm pretty sure like I've seen. Like 3 black women that I've like cheering on Chelsea, but I don't think I'd ever see that on TV. I'd see like the white version, and obviously Chelsea is like West London pretty much, so predominantly is more like I guess a white area. So I don't know if that translates into it. And then from a fan perspective, I don't know, like racism. I don't think
just as an atmosphere, I mean, because you said that you've not seen your people around, right? Whilst you know there, but just from an atmosphere and a feeling, and when you walk into these clubs, have you experienced that? Do you feel that level of race, any level of racism?
I don't. You know, I'll be real. I don't think so.
Okay,
even though I know
good.
that there's not many people around, I don't think so. Just because everybody's watching the game. And I think because we're all going there to watch the game, there's not that much space or much feeling to feel like, even though you know it, but it's not like, it's not heavy, it doesn't weigh on you type of thing. Such as like, again, me being like literally the only black female photographer on the pitch side, like I feel that's more heavy for me. But as like a fan, and not seeing like, again, predominantly black people there, I know Arsenal's quite different. Like I
was about to say
diverse,
Arsenal's very different, which I hope that translates to like a lot of more Premier League clubs and stuff. Even on the women's side of it, a lot of the Chelsea games is like predominantly white people.
Right, 100%. Yeah, I can imagine.
That's I see it. I don't think it doesn't weigh on me as much as me doing the work. So
fair enough.
But yeah, good debate though.
Yeah,
good debate. I think interesting question.
Yeah, I don't think football's helped racism in this country. No, like we have to think about it like this. Yeah, football, just because there's more black players playing, doesn't mean that racism. Doesn't mean that football's actually helped racism in the country, because it's 2 separate things. If we got a racist society, or not even just racist, let's say it's more of a prejudice society. Just because a white fan sees a black player or an Asian player playing and he's happy for him, doesn't mean that it removes his prejudice or his and they might go to the stadium and be like, but when they go back home it don't matter,
or on social media
it don't matter. And actually, the social media point is a great point, because that always rears its ugly head when something happens, right? Yeah. So I think what it has done is it's just made people that are prejudiced or racist a bit more tolerable of black people. I don't think it's really helped though, because I think people that are racist, they're racist. Like, I don't agree. I don't think that the sport itself is not going to change that.
I think it does.
I think all it does is it makes them tolerable. Like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Do you think someone who's racist cannot be racist anymore?
100%. Because that's what's happened.
No, I don't think so.
Can you give me an example of someone?
So that's been racist and
that's very clear that they were racist and they're no longer racist.
So in individual people, like I'll give you an example, right? So my neighbor, not in this no, not my current neighbor right now, but you know, in another house. I've not known him to be racist. You understand? I've not known him to be racist, right? Okay. The only thing I've ever known him to do one time, I heard him say coloured, like coloured people, right? Which that's not racist, but it's a bit of a uneducated kind of thing.
There, yeah.
So what does that tell me? It tells me that back in your day, you might have been around racist people and been tolerable. You might have even laughed at the joke.
Okay.
But through a lifetime of, you know, integrating, you understand? Playing football, because he played football too, and he told me like, yeah, he had one Nigerian guy that was his striker because he was the captain. He had this, that, and the third. Maybe now, like, you know, maybe when you was young, you heard your grandparents talk a bit funny, and you was just like, it's just normal. Then as you got like 12, 15, you got older, you had more friends, you integrated more. Now you're more like, no, don't talk like that. No, stop that. Or you just walk away, or you don't hang around those people anymore. Do you understand? So I think your experience do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Can improve, 100%. I believe that. Like one thing, look, it's so funny. Like everyone can say that when it's talked to black and white, but Caribbeans and Nigerians and Africans, the prejudice used to be mad. Like the feeling, like, you know what I mean? You all these sort of things, these jokes, everything like that. Over time, education, people have improved. So I think there's different levels of racism. There's different types of people. And I think that for some people, 100%, they're always going to be that. The people that you see, you know, commenting on social media, these are people who are low lives. Like they've got issues in their own life.
I do think it's a bit of a dying generation of that, like,
you understand,
that sense of racism or that level of
But let me tell you why it's not. Because
not all of it.
Without getting too political, because it's not a political podcast,
bro.
We are seeing the rise of right-wing politics in the West, which clearly exemplifies that it's not changed. It's just gone in a different direction. It means that what it represents is that there's a sentiment and a feeling still there from a certain group of people that don't like another group of people. And it's actually being reflected in our politics. Like, it's literally being reflected in our politics. So we can't say that, oh, it's changed or it's dying. It's not dying. It's just changed. It's just changed. The method and the way it's being represented is changed. That's the difference. And then even like, okay, I hear what you're saying about the West African and Caribbean thing. But even that's very different from racism, because that's more like xenophobia, because we're the same race, right? So you're Nigerian, I'm Jamaican.
Just cultures.
I can't be racist. Technically, I can't be racist towards you, but I can say, oh, I think Nigerians are XYZ, or you can say, I think Jamaicans are XYZ. But that's xenophobia. That's not racism.
I get it. It's a technicality, but it's the same kind of thing. It's prejudice. It's not the same. It's prejudice. It's discrimination. It is the same thing. It's prejudice.
Principle.
The principle is the same. Exactly. Like,
but from a foundational level, it's not the same. So we have to. It's not the same.
The principles are the same, bro. The
but it's not the same.
If you've got hate in your heart,
it's not the same
for another person of another culture, then it is the same.
But it's not the same.
Alright, cool.
It's literally not the same. Like, it's literally not the same.
That's fine.
But the point I wanted to make is that. But the original point though is that is football making people less racist? I don't think so. I don't think so.
You know what it is? Like, it's a bit. This is my last thing I'm going to say.
I don't think so.
Rebuttal, yeah.
Okay.
It is a little bit. You're having a bit of a fatalist approach to it, because just because something is still high doesn't mean nothing's happened. Do you understand? So, for example, like you now work your pitch side. Do you understand? Your pitch side. You're a black female who is pitch side taking pictures. So that still counts for something. Do you get what I mean? And when, like, in 10 years, when there's more, and maybe that percentage has gone to like, you know, a certain percent, something has changed, right? Do you understand? And that's you changing something just even in yourself.
Yeah.
Because you understand what I'm saying to you. So that's where you're kind of looking at the fatalist approach. Yes, it's still rampant. Racism's still high. But now I see white people fighting for Palestine. Like a lot of them more than, you know, I've seen people was protesting against the Tommy Robinson thing in a lot of areas in London and whatever, standing up. Maybe 50 years ago that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So there's improvements. We're always, yes, look, it's a, at the end of the day, the country is 90%, you know, white or whatever it is, right? So of course you're gonna have more, and that thing's gonna be hard to die, right? But 100%, I do think it has improved. But yeah, sorry to bring you into that debate, but it felt fitting.
Cool. As we wrap this up, I do want to ask you one last question.
Okay.
Because in one of your videos, you spoke about like leaving a trail, right? And how, you know, you breaking down these barriers, leaving a trail. So I think to round this off, before we get into our tradition, I want to know, and I want to ask you, you know, in the next 3 to 5 years, what does leaving a trail actually mean to you?
Oh, it's such a big question. I think, in a nutshell, because I know that there is a lot of young black females, creatives, not just like photographers in general, but just creative people, and it seems like, you know, with the whole like AI and social media, like you can make a living out of being creative, like point blank. I think it's proven in so many different ways. I think leaving a trail is going to mean there's going to be opportunities that are easier to get into, and you don't have to face as many barriers, you don't have to face as many like hurdles to get into. Again, for example, sports photography. Like, I think that's way more important. Like knowing that I could tell someone, I did this, but and then this is what you have to do to kind of get there, and it being much easier for them to do it. I think that's more important, and that's like the trail that I want to leave. So to make the pathway easier. So again, it doesn't even have to be for like young black females. It can just be for females or sports photographers in general, because I know it's extremely competitive. I know it's extremely hard, but I do think obviously there's people that do have the edge. For example, in a normal Premier League like game or WSL game, I think there's around like 30 photographers. So the last Chelsea game that I did actually, there was less photographers because there was like another game going on. And I was like, well, this has happened quite a few times. Like I was the only black female there, but I think there was only one other female, so it was only 2 of us, and then everybody else was guys. So I think like if that's something that I can help to improve, and show people that like we are out here type of thing, I think that's like the best way to kind of describe leaving a trail, I think.
Wicked.
Powerful, yeah.
Wicked.
But yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to speak, or you know, would like to speak about, or that we haven't asked you?
I think I have opinions on things to do with like broadcasting and like, I think the way how that's it, the hiring process, even just putting like getting an accreditation and stuff to a side, I think the hiring processes in a lot of broadcasting companies or like ad agencies or like production companies or whatever, I think it needs to be like changed. And maybe this is like for every other industry as well. Yeah. But like, again, a reference that I love to go to is like Stephen Bartlett. So his hiring process is like, he doesn't say like, send me your CV or send me like a biography about you or whatever. Like I think they hire on attitude or like something like that he was saying. And then he pretty much give someone like a bunch of scenarios and what would they do in those scenarios, and then he sees like your attitude towards work and towards the job or the role that you're going to be good at or that you've applied to pretty much. So I think translating this into like production and the areas that I mentioned, I think the hiring process has to be like a lot different, because there's so much talent, but these organizations are just like picking the same people because they're comfortable and it's, you know, reliable and it's credible or whatnot, which is like fair enough, but like it's hard. It's hard for like the generation that are coming and that have crazy different ideas, and obviously they have to kind of build their personal brand on social media in order to get to those places, or have, you know, like the likes of Sky that partner with them, or like, I don't know, all of these bigger organizations who have money, because that's what, you know, that's what we do things for. We do it for money, let's be real. But it's like, yeah, if the hiring process for a lot of these or the pitching process, or like, I don't know, the selection process was tailored, or like they hit a certain criteria. I don't know what that criteria necessarily is. I'd probably have to think about it a little bit more. But if it was different, I think we'd see like a lot more people like me on pitchside, I think. So I think, yeah, super, super important.
Powerful.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool. Wrap this up.
That's it for me. Yeah.
No. What are you listening to?
Yeah.
So to finish up, we always like to ask people what they're listening to, or what are they reading at the moment. So yeah, like anything you're kind of taking in to improve yourself at the moment.
Or just music.
Or music, yeah.
Music. Oh, I don't like to talk about music.
What?
I just feel, yeah, because like when people ask you, oh, what's your favorite music? They're always like, I feel like it's a prejudgment of like what you're listening
This is a
to.
judgment-free zone here.
Okay.
'Cause we listen.
I might
to
judge a
everything.
little bit.
I ain't judging.
Pretending nothing.
Okay. I'll tell you what I watch. I think that.
You tried to divert from the music.
Yeah.
Now I really want to know what you've been listening to.
I am currently watching. There's a show on Netflix called I Will Find You. I haven't actually.
I knew he was going to say that one. So
Really?
Yeah, I've watched one episode of it. It's
Is it
looking
good?
mad.
I Will
Only
Find
one
You,
episode is
yeah.
looking
Okay.
mad.
Yeah, so like I'm pretty much due to like watch it like around this time.
It's cold. It's
Okay.
cold.
So
Playlist.
I really like thrillers and like psychological type of films.
Okay.
Again, I think that brings out like. Actually, do you know what I do watch more than that? Probably series on like Netflix. I like CSI, like crime investigation types of documentaries and stuff. I probably watch a bit too much of that sometimes, but I like it because it helps me to like figure out solutions and not necessarily be in the mind of like a killer or anything. Let me not scare anybody here, but to like, it's so interesting how people like find out the reasons why people like kill, or why they like have hurt, or why like jealousy and like again all of these types of emotions. It's like how if someone could unfortunately like murder someone or whatever, then it's like how, I don't know, it's just all like mind and psychological type of things.
That's
that
interesting.
I pretty much get into. Me and my friends watch a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah, that's it. I've got like a theory where I think that they should make court cases
like
live, like or it should be recorded.
That's it.
Because there's certain things that's happened that's like, no, you can't just close it like that. Oh yeah, he got guilty. Like I need to know why he done that. Like so
absolutely
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, bro?
I'm
And
watching.
then you said, what am I reading?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, if you got something
If you got
valuable,
more,
go on.
if you got more.
No, I'm not reading that.
Don't lie, you sure?
You sure?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, so the new House of Dragon is just come back on. So,
Why?
yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand. I think this is not. I'm not judging you now. Why Game of Thrones or that type of like genre?
It's just, I don't know. I actually don't know. It's just something about it. You know what? Game of Thrones, it's just the storytelling, man. The storytelling is just,
Fair enough.
yeah, it's just interesting. And I think it's one of them shows where you can't hold on to any character because anyone can get it. So like, yeah, like your favorite character, you might think they're the main character, but they ain't really, they could be gone. Yeah, there's no main character, like anyone can get it.
I see.
It's like, yeah, it's just, and the storytelling, and I kind of like fantasy stuff. I do enjoy stuff like that. So yeah, House of Dragon is that's what I'm watching at the minute. To be fair, I don't really watch much TV, so yeah.
Listening to anything?
Cool.
Music wise, you know what? I actually, even though it's been out for a minute, I went back to Drake's
Iceman
album. Yeah.
He's got a new album out.
He drops like three albums in one night.
Yeah.
So I went back to the first one. So I've given it a second chance because at first I was like, nah, but I'm giving it a second chance. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, interesting about Game of Thrones. Like I like fantasy stuff as well. Lord of the Rings, mainly that. And I was always told good things about Game of Thrones. But when they're like, there's 12 seasons, it's a myth.
It's not 12 seasons. It's,
how many?
It's 7 or 8.
What's the difference?
How many episodes?
That's 5 seasons less.
How many episodes?
It's still mad.
There's 6 to 8. It's like 8 to 10 episodes each season.
Oh.
I look at that like that's gonna take me like a lot of life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To watch.
You gotta watch it slowly.
No. So I literally, for that reason, I ain't watched it. But maybe one day, do you know what I mean? I'll watch it on a flight or something. But right now, I'm listening to, shout out to Catch. She's from our area that we grew up. We both grew up in Lewisham. So we kind of know a bit. She just dropped an album. And it's very good. I just started listening to it. It's like Dave's level. Like, if not a little bit better, in my opinion.
Say Dave.
Proper lyricism. So that's what I'm listening. I just
I'll
started,
give it a listen. No, now that you said that,
I just started listening to that. Watching or something. Yeah, no. Even that, so engrossed in business right now, I won't even lie. Business and a bit of traveling. That I watched one episode of that I Will Find You thing, and then
that was it.
I wanted to watch more, but I'm like, I can't binge. I don't binge stuff. I find it hard.
That's why House of Dragon is good, because it comes out once a week. So I can't
So
even.
it kind of paces you.
I watch one.
I like that stuff.
I like that stuff. Wait till Sunday to watch the next one.
I like that stuff. So, and then not reading anything at the moment, but I'm listening to a lot of YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. So
important.
I actually taught myself how to edit, like in the time of like uni. Again, it was like lockdown, so all the practical sessions gone, and that's how I like learn, like going back to what I started.
Shout out YouTube, man, because I feel like YouTube has actually made people a lot of money
in the world. You know, I think YouTube is one of the best resources.
Is that like
100%?
Is that your opinion, or do you think?
I think so. I think if you know what to look for, YouTube is probably the most powerful resource, because everything's there.
More valuable than uni for certain careers. 100%.
I think if you know what to look for,
for certain careers.
If you know what to look for, I think YouTube is the best. Like, you just have to know what to look. That's the issue.
I think it's a YouTuber as well.
It's what?
It's a YouTuber, like the actual person that's like.
It's the person, not 100%. Yeah, it's different aspects.
Because some people be talking rubbish sometimes. So
100%.
that's true.
All right, cool. We could do a whole other episode about YouTube. So, but I really appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure. The Mind Your Business podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, please give us a 5-star rating as well, because that does help. Peace.
That's it.
Great.
Thank you.